but it's a lifelong journey. This isn't a sprint. It's a marathon.
Right.
Okay, you guys know Drake? The shit's a rolling, not a stopwatch. Okay.
It don't never stop.
It don't never stop. All right. So
never heard that before.
You never heard that one?
Well, I didn't even know who Drake was until one of my staff. I was giving him a hard time because he didn't know who Pearl Jam was. Well, yeah, now I know that because of you. So
yeah, so it's like a rolly. This fit life doesn't stop. Okay.
Nice. Hey, and another big name person I look up to is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
The Rock, he's the man.
You know, he said, somebody asked him, what's the key to success? He said, the key is there is no damn key.
Then we all gon' shine. I'm tuning in live. If you wanna win, turn the ears up to level 10. Grab a pen if you wanna win, turn the ears up to level 10. Tuning in live. Yes, I'ma lift you up higher. Sparking your inner desire. Making your dreams come true. You know it's worth it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ryan here with Shred. I'm here with my man Jody Rue and Aaron Simpson again.
We back.
Back at
again.
Ya.
Back
at ya.
again. Hey, that's a song.
That is. Guess who's back?
Looking at that Boys to Men hair over there.
Hey. You talking about me?
I think hair number 237 is out of place.
I thought it was on point today.
No, it's always on point. It's always on
Damn
point.
it.
No, it does. It looks good. I like how it just free flows all the way back.
Yeah, I got a new product.
Aaron's missing his mohawk when
I
he
know,
sees your hair.
So
I know that. Do you see I'm growing it back out? It's about yay tall.
Yeah, let her grow.
About yay tall. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Last week we talked about nutrition labels and alcohol. Hopefully you guys got some good tidbits out of that. This week's episode is going to be about motivation. Okay, so Jody's going to talk a lot about this because he's a motivational speaker.
He's about the most unmotivated person I've ever been around in my entire life.
Yeah. So he does all his motivational stuff every week. Really good stuff, really intense, breaks through to a lot of people. It's great. But really, motivation's good. But you can't rely on motivation alone.
Right.
Like you can't. If you're always relying on the next meme or the next poster or the next video to motivate you, then you're gonna fail. It's gonna set you up for failure if you rely on motivation alone. Okay. You know what works best for achieving your goals is consistency in creating habits. Okay. Because some days you're gonna be motivated and some days you're not. But if you're in the habit of going to the gym, okay, and you make that part of your daily routine, at least if you get in there and get something. If you don't feel like going to the gym but still go, take your car there, park in the gym, get on the treadmill for 10 minutes because you're creating that habit. And a lot of people think that they have to crush every workout or they get down on themselves.
That's not possible.
I deal with it all the time. People getting down on themselves because they didn't crush a workout. You're not going to crush every workout.
No.
I mean, I haven't crushed a workout for a minute. But you're not going to crush every workout, but you got to accept that and just get the habit of going back because a lot of people will go to the gym and not do really well and they'll get down on themselves and they'll stop. So you're breaking that habit and then they look for the next motivation to get them motivated. So you can't rely on motivation at all. Is that right?
Yeah, it's worth ethic, and I think that's what a lot of people lack. And I've been saying this a lot lately. I did a couple videos, and I saw some stuff that is all about knowing your worth and knowing that you're worth it. And you know, we could all want to look a certain way and be like that model that we've been looking up to or whatever it may be, but you really change your outside when you change your inside. You know, I saw a quote about an egg that gets cracked from the outside, that egg's dead. All right. You know, but if you crack an egg from the inside, it brings life. You have to be the one that's responsible for your breakthrough. You can't let somebody break you down or make you feel bad about yourself. If you know your worth inside, that'll shine bright, and then that will transform you in more ways than just your image. You have to feel good about yourself. I mean, when you started with the gym stuff, you wanted to change people's lives, but you knew that something in you had worth in this world to help people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And that's what motivates me. That's my motivation to do what I do, is to help people. And when I help people, that's what pushes me, and that's what motivates me day to day. If I was going to a job where I had no objective, where I was just, on the hamster wheel, I probably would fizzle out and I'd be jumping from job to job. Like, I'm obsessed with what I do because I like helping people, and that's why we do this. And that's what motivates me. Like, my motivation in the gym is, I mean, this can sound bad, it's more for vanity reasons. Like, I like to look good, especially with summer coming up. So, what's your motivation?
That's that's not a bad thing
not
unless
a
you're
bad
letting
thing,
your
no.
whole entire life be
No, I'm
consumed
not-
by that.
yeah,
Right. But I
yeah.
agree with you because people say that to me like, oh, all you are is into your looks. No, I'm not. I'm into running a business and a life and a husband and all that. But at the same time, yeah, I want to look the way I want to look
Yeah.
the same. I don't spend 12 hours a day going, oh, I want to look like this. I want to look like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Look good,
I
feel
spend
good.
my hour
You
at the
look
gym,
good,
I'm
you feel
done.
good.
Yeah.
For sure.
And if somebody's saying that to you, they're just hating because they're not there yet, and
Right,
they
they're
don't-
not
they
making
probably
that
don't, they
step.
probably don't like themselves. Okay,
For sure.
But everybody's capable of doing it and being where we're at, but it's just you have to put in the work, people. Like we've put in the work. So I mean, if we want to be vain now and just look good with their shirts off at the pool, then that's where I'm at. I don't like, and my motivation comes from other places. Just like when I played sports. I mean, I played football. I played college football. And I'm telling you what, my whole motivation was to sack the quarterback. My whole motivation was to win national championships. Like that was like my laser-like focus my whole time through school.
Yeah, your drive.
My drive. And my senior year, that like after we had our last game and we lost the national championship, I had no motivation. I tanked. You should see a picture of me when I graduated college. Like I looked terrible. And my motivation was to eat pizza and drink beer. After that, I had no
Party.
motivation to get in the gym. I had no motivation to work. And I lost my motivation for a while. Honestly, I lost my motivation until I got into training, and then it came back, and it's been alive ever since. But everybody goes through phases in life where, especially at work, with anything, with the gym, at work, where you're just motivated, you want to kill it. Like I just went through a phase not too long ago where I wasn't super motivated at work. Not saying that my clients didn't motivate me in what I was doing. It was just like I wanted another step, and I didn't know what it was. I wanted to do something else, and so I wasn't super motivated. But then just the other day, light bulb went off. I'm back on. I didn't need a mem. I didn't need anything. I didn't need
flipped the switch.
Flip the switch. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have to be our own motivation. I mean, we can't rely, like we talked about, on somebody else, but you also want to be engaged in a community that helps you with your motivation too. Sure. I mean, especially if you're somebody that really, really struggles with motivation, you need those people around you to help get you motivated every day. And that could be just listening to a podcast. That could be listening to Jody's, Facebook, posts. But I think anybody and everybody out there is a lot more powerful than they're even capable of even realizing.
They underestimate themselves.
Yeah, they're not using their full potential because they're just okay with being average. I'm not okay with being average, and I'm not talking about looks. I'm not okay with being average even in business. I want to be the best. That doesn't mean that I'm going to make billions of dollars in my life, but I want to be the best that I can actually be. So that's what pushes me. My workouts are a huge time for me for motivation. During my workouts, it's like I'm thinking, what's next? I wrote the dream down. I slept that dream last night. I ate that dream last night. I talked about that dream. I've walked that dream. Like during my workout, that's the way my brain's going. And then I'm coming up with tons of marketing ideas or ideas that I want to do this, or hey, this is another great business venture. There's just something about when I lift that endorphins get lit, into my body that just makes me more motivated than anything. Even on the day like Ryan talked about where I don't want to work out and I force myself to go work out, I can't believe how good I feel after I'm done. Even if it was a crappy workout, I feel so much better after I'm done than when I did before. And that motivates me for the next day. Because now I know when I get up the next day, okay, today's workout's going to be killer because yesterday's wasn't so good. I'm going to push it harder today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta take time to make time. And like I said, you can't rely on somebody else to just flip that switch. Like Ryan was saying, you have to sacrifice for what you love and for yourself. Because if you don't sacrifice for what you love becomes your sacrifice. You miss out on something that's going to change your life. It's going to allow you to take care of your family. It's going to allow you to inspire somebody. I have so many people that come up to me that, you don't, like I said, you don't know who's watching you. So there's going to be that one thing you do that might change somebody's perspective on their life. And honestly, that's why I started doing motivational speaking. I didn't do it because I wanted to get famous or money off of it. Honest to God, it was one day like the Powerball was super big. And somebody won. It was probably some 90-year-old lady that already's rich. You know what I'm saying? But I got on. I was paying it forward at Starbucks, and that's what started all of it. And I'm just being positive. I'm like, listen, people, you don't need the Powerball. You already got the winning numbers in you. Whatever you want to be a winner at, you can be. Just have that mindset that I'm a winner. If you have a winning mentality and you actually want to get better because you want to get better for you, that should be enough motivation right there. You like you said, we are not meant to be average. I don't care who you are. You're not supposed to be just an average person. We're all different for a reason, and we're all unique. Unique New York.
Unique New York.
But we all have an attribute that will allow us to do awesome things with our lives. But you have to make those sacrifices. You have to take those risks. Just like if I would have never started motivational speaking, I don't know if I would have ever went into the fitness world. Now, I grew up playing soccer and ran track, but when I was in high school, was I thinking that I would do motivational speaking in my 30s? Absolutely not. Am I glad I did it? Yes, because it's opened up so many avenues just by being motivated to do something for me. I didn't do it for nobody else. You have to do it for you.
Yep.
Yeah, and the number one thing that you got to do is you have to love yourself first. If you don't love yourself first, you're not going to be a motivated person. If you're not there at all and you're not loving who you are, there are places that you can go. One, I'm always going to say start at church. But even beyond that, there are even places like the focus seminars that are ran by Dr. Wayne McCamey. I mean, that has changed so many people's lives because they go in and they actually go through schooling and classes to learn to love themselves or learn to not beat themselves over the errors or something that they did in the past. The past. Who cares? You can't go back and change something where you screwed up in life. You know, make your enthusiasm for success stronger than your fear of failure, and you'll become unstoppable, which unstoppable is my word of
That's your word of the
2019.
year,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I love that. You know, it's just, you got to stay on the drive and on the grind. But yeah, there are days just like me. I wake up, man, yesterday I was not motivated. Actually, it was the day before yesterday. I didn't want to do anything. And I had to like get myself into gear and go, all right, man, let's go. Let's get up. You got all this stuff that you can conquer today. Let's make this happen. Let's do it.
Yep. Another thing you guys need to do to stay motivated is find your why.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big part of it is why are you doing this? You know, and it doesn't have to be just for the way you look or whatever. It's the way you feel. It could be health reasons. I mean, if you go to the doctor and you have high blood pressure and you're pre-diabetic, you're doing it to save your own life. Okay, you're doing it to extend how much time you get to spend with your family, your kids, your grandkids. And if that isn't motivation for you enough, then nothing's going to motivate you.
Right, you're just being selfish at that point.
Yes, if you can go in and doctors say you're at risk for heart disease and you can't lock down your diet and get in the gym and work out and seek help, then nothing's going to motivate you. You can look for the most motivational YouTube video you can find or the meme that's going to talk to you, but it's not going to work. You have to fire yourself up. And once you find your why, I've seen it flip in clients. I mean, I've had clients for over 10 years. And once I see them find their why and their motivation, the motor is so much different. And I refer,
fired up.
Yeah, I refer back to, this because it's fascinating. It was very fascinating for me to watch clients transition into this, like clients that decide they want to do a fitness competition. Okay, and I'm not saying everybody needs to do that, but I'm just talking about the motivation and that flip that goes off. When they decide they want to get on stage, I could have a client that had been working out with me for 2 years and they don't really follow their meal plan and they don't really go hard in the gym, but then all of a sudden they're going to get on stage in 12 weeks. Now all of a sudden their ass is in gear because that's their why. It's just a whole different motivation once you find your why. And what people fall in the mistake of is setting too big of goals, like too big. If you have to lose 100 pounds, don't look at the 100 pounds. Like set small monthly goals to keep you motivated. Because once you hit those goals, it gets you going on another goal. It gets you going. You can't eat an elephant overnight, is what they say.
Right, and don't wait until you get to that 100 pounds before you congratulate and be proud of yourself. Mm-hmm. Be proud of yourself every day, every week. Because if you're getting out there grinding, you're doing something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can tell with clients too, the ones that constantly need motivation, which that's what we're here for. That's why people come see. I'm not saying that I don't like people getting motivation, but I can just tell the people that are constantly being motivated or they're not doing anything aren't people that are going to be able to make this a lifestyle change and do it for their whole life. Yeah. I can just see it 100%.
And I think that brings up this. I heard this a while back from a buddy of mine, Shannon Zabrowski. Happiness or joy? What do you want? Happiness or joy? Joy gives you peace and happiness brings you worry. And if you really think about that, happiness usually is going to be material possessions, something to that effect.
Right, you're letting that make you happy.
Yeah,
right?
I want the bigger house, I want the bigger car, I want whatever, and that eventually is going to bring you worry, and it's going to be the thing that's going to wind up in the junkyard. It's going to break down. Where true joy, that is loving yourself, and that's something that's internal, and that's going to give you peace, and peace is what's going to also keep you motivated. Another thing I've always heard too, and this is coming from a friend of mine, Christian Newsom, who's been healed simply because their life crossed paths with you. That's something I think about
powerful.
Every single day because that's what I know part of my role in my life is that. I'm in my gyms every day to be this person, not to go in and run the gym. I have staff for that. Not to go in and clean the gym, even though I do those things. But my goal every day is whose life can I see or talk to today that I can change their perspective on something that day during that conversation. That is what drives me every day to walk in and want to be there. Or even not only that, Don't get me started on going to the grocery store and standing in the grocery line while the person's checking me out, because I'm literally the whole entire time goofing around, talking, joking, talking about how's life, how's your day, that little thing right there, just that interaction with that person for a few minor minutes could totally change that person's life or perspective.
Yeah, even yours too,
Absolutely. So I'm going to say this. There is no end game. Okay, this isn't the Avengers. There's no end game with this.
Jody saw that on Sunday, by the way.
It's really good.
It's good. There's no end game. This is a lifelong journey. Okay, so if you're constantly looking for motivation for life, then you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm telling you right now. And the key to all this isn't motivation, because there are going to be times when you're motivated and you're not. It's consistency, and it's creating good habits.
Yes.
So if you are consistent and you create good habits, if you have the habit of going to the gym, if you have the habit of eating healthy, if you just take all the bad, negative stuff completely out of your life, or just in moderation, put it in moderation, then you will get to where you want to be. It may be longer than some other people, but it's a lifelong journey. This isn't a sprint. It's a marathon.
Right.
Okay, you guys know Drake? This shit's a rollie, not a stopwatch. Okay,
It don't never stop.
It don't never stop. All right, so
Never heard that before.
You never heard that one?
You
Well, I didn't even know who
You like
Drake
that?
was until one of my staff. I was giving him a hard time because he didn't know who
Kiki,
Pearl Jam
do you
was.
love me?
Well, yeah, now I know that because of you. So
Yeah, so it's like a rollie. This fit life doesn't stop.
doesn't
Okay.
Nice.
Hey, and
Like a rolling.
another big name person I look up to is Dwayne The Rock
The
Johnson.
Rock, he's the man.
He said, somebody asked him, what's the key to success? He said, the key is there is no damn key. You have to be humble, hungry, and the hardest worker in any room. If you have that attitude that when you go into a room that not only are you going to be the hardest worker, but you're going to change the atmosphere, that should motivate you enough, because like you said, you don't cross paths with certain people for no reason. I don't care if it's just for a minute at the grocery store.
think
at
about
the
how
ga-
we met. Think about how you and I met.
Yeah,
how
right,
all of
yeah.
us in this room met
Yeah.
just on supposed this random encounter.
Yeah,
And now look.
but you're placed there for a reason.
and then we get
people.
Slick Nick involved.
Man, Slick Nick. We called him Nasty Nick, but that's not a good enough name. Had to give him Slick Nick. That's better. But honestly, people, everybody asks me, like, Jody, you're always positive every day.
He
I've
is.
never
The dude
seen you.
lives with me. He is this 100% of the time.
No, I mean, the only time that I had a moment where I broke down was when the engine on my truck blew up. But I'm surrounded
one
around.
time in the
Right.
last 8
That's
months.
understandable.
Yeah, and I mean that's a big thing to be worried about.
Big
but,
Red died,
But when
man.
he died, R.I.P. to Big Red. But jeez. So, but I tell people, I'm like, listen, you know what the answer is? Why I'm always positive? I choose to be. Before
Amen.
I put my feet on the damn floor and I get out that bed, I know I'm gonna have a good day because
First
I
5
spoke
seconds.
it into existence. Yeah, speak it into existence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get up and go after it.
And that didn't happen overnight. That's
No,
taking practice,
it's taken-
hasn't it?
it has.
Yes. You're a completely different person before you started doing that, right?
100,000,000%.
So all these people that think they don't have hope, tell them they have hope
You
as long
have
as you change your habits
Man,
and
you
your
have to be.
consistency.
You can be addicted to all this bad crap. You can be addicted to bad food. You can be addicted to being around the people that you think are your friends, but they're really there to bring you down. You can be addicted to being at a job that you really hate, but you're doing it because you think this is the only way. But guess what? If you're addicted to the grind, you can't cheat it. It knows how much time you've invested. So how hard are you willing to work? If I wouldn't have came into the fitness world, I wouldn't be motivational speaking. I wouldn't have these opportunities and had an opportunity to work with Aaron and Ryan and come to Lee Summit. Now I have an opportunity because somebody on Facebook that owns gyms in Chicago wants me to come up and spread that same energy. I'm telling you, people, be addicted to the right thing. Be addicted to loving yourself. Be addicted to getting out here and working your ass off to make your dreams come true. Don't just daydream all day. Your daydreams are realities if you are willing to grind for it. That's the truth.
And life is short. So if you don't get control of it now, you're going to be all of a sudden, you're going to be sitting in your deathbed thinking, I'm a grumpy old bastard
Right.
that never fixed my mindset.
I love listening to Eric Thomas, and he talks about a lion all the time. Be a lion. If you ever listen to him, he's young. Be a lion. You won't be a lion. You won't be a gazelle. Be a lion. Right. He talks about like
trying to get 8.
Yeah, what's a lion do before he starts hunting? Like, think about that. A lion sits and listens.
Yep.
And then before that gazelle even knows, that lion's on top of him. So he listens first, then he starts hunting. So be a lion. Listen before you talk. Mm-hmm. Listen before you go do something. I say to people all the time, I'm a sponge. I want to learn everything I possibly can off of anybody that's around me, and I keep my mouth shut so I can listen. So listen learn, and then put into action what you've listened to and what you've learned.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't cut you off, but you said be a lion. I saw this one. Somebody put it up. It's amazing. It said, you're going to love this one. Do sharks complain about Monday? No. They're up early, biting stuff, chasing shit, being scary, and reminding everyone that they're a mother shark. You know what I mean? All right, I'm not gonna drop the F-bomb. I'll let Ryan do that. But I'm saying that's how you have to be. We don't need to all be sheep. There's gonna be some sheep. There's some people out there who just never get it, and I'm sorry for you. But if you're listening to this podcast and you don't get it, and you're not fired up right now, I'm sweating on my pits right now.
Preach. Jody's preaching.
I'm telling you, man. Listen, you have to get out here and control your life.
Yes.
You have to, because guess what? If you don't, someone's
Preach it.
gonna control you.
Yep. And we can sit here and tell you guys this because we've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen it with ourselves. We've seen it with clients. We've seen it with people in the gym. It is totally capable of changing your mindset, changing your body, and living a completely different life than you're living right now. Better life, more happier life, okay? More fulfilled life. You just have to take control of it. There's so many negative people out there, negative people around you, people at work, that people that just want to bitch and people that just want to gossip. Get those people out of your life and get positive people around you. Get like-minded people around you, and that's going to help you. That's going to help you keep you motivated. That's not going to be everything, because unless you have the motivation within yourself, then you're not going to get anywhere. So you can't rely on other people. You have to dig deep and look inside yourself and find your whys.
And Ryan just said work. What I hate and what irritates the crap out of me more than anything is listening to people talk and gripe about how much they hate their job. Yeah. If you hate your job, get a new freaking job.
Yep.
Use your time looking for a different job. Guess what? If you hate your job, you're probably only producing at half of your worth at that job anyway. So you're doing the job a disfavor also by hating your job, by not actually working. If you don't like your job, in life, it's not what you know. I'm sorry. It's who you know. Yep. Who have you met in the past that you can go to and be like, I need a job. You know anybody that's hiring? Find a different job. You know, we are beyond blessed, the four of us sitting in this room, to be able to do what we do every day. We literally get to do 100% of what we want to do every single stinking day. Every day. And I am so fortunate and so blessed for that, and I thank God for that every day. But it also didn't happen overnight. Mm-hmm. We had to make some major changes, major risk, and literally go out on the edge and go, leap of faith, God, here it goes. If we fail, we fail. But guess what? If we fail, you're going to be there to pick us up and get us right back into something else.
Yep, that's exactly what I did with Shreddy. I told you guys a story about the job I was working, making really good money, and I just took the leap. And guess what? I took the leap knowing that I wanted to go help people, and look where we're at now.
Nick did that too. He told us about that.
Yep.
You didn't have no backup plan.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I married a teacher, man.
That's
my backup plan. I married a really rich teacher.
Yeah. You know, you just have to, a lot of people that sit and hate their job, the reason that they don't do anything about it because they're not confident enough to think that they can go find another job, okay? You can achieve anything you put your mind to. Okay, if you need to find another job, focus on that job. Get your mindset. Say your affirmations every day that you can find a new job. You're going to get your dream job. And find your why, not just with working out and eating healthy. Find your why with what you want to do in life. Okay, what is your purpose in life? Is it just to collect a paycheck? Or is it to change? Or is it to fulfill your life and change people's lives? That's what we are. Then I fucking love my job. Okay, every day I do. I said, yeah. I was gonna say it just because I wanted to get. I wanted to reiterate the fact that I love my job.
We need to go on a time delay here.
And we love what we do, and it's just every day. That's my motivation. And I may not always be motivated in the gym, but I consistently get in the gym. I have the habit of working out all the time, and that's where where I'm at.
Yeah, you need to. I said this one of my videos this past week, Motivational Monday. We might drop it on this. You need to be the real deal zeal. I don't think that word gets thrown around a whole lot. ZEAL. And you asked me, Jody, what does zeal mean? It's great energy or enthusiasm in the pursuit or cause of an objective that you're trying to reach. If you do everything in your life with great energy and enthusiasm, I'm telling you right now, you will not fail. Will you have hard days? Yes. But you will always know in your mind that you're going to get there. You can't, you might be able to do this, but you can't just knock down a tree with one swing. Ryan Waters might be able to. But it's going to take me about 17 swings, But you got to keep on driving every day. And listen, that's why we're glad we can do what we love, because if at least one of you guys or ladies switches your mindset on doing what you need to do to make your life the best it can be, then we're doing our job, and we're going to keep doing it. So,
all right, I got one more thing here. Faith. Until your faith follows, it won't have fruit. That's by Christian Newsom as well. So with all of this that we're saying, you got to have the faith in yourself that you're going to do exactly what your dream board has down, exactly what your sheet that you've written your goals down on have. Have the faith in yourself that you can do it. And then your fruit will follow after that.
Yep. And one other thing I'll finish out with is
Mic drop.
I've seen so many people, so many clients that have been so successful in life where they've achieved everything they want to do in their career, but they've neglected their body. You know, and they can't seem to get wrapped around their head that if they put everything they did for their career into changing their body, then they would have the best of both worlds.
Right.
I mean, if you use that same motivation that you got to where you're at in life, to where you want to get in your lifestyle, then you can achieve anything. But thanks for listening. Everybody was preaching today.
Man, we got fired up.
And I'm sweating.
Me too.
Yeah. All right.
Love you guys.
Yep. All
Thank
right.
you guys.
Ooh, Jody, put the preacher robes on. Oh, man.
If you don't know, now you know.
You have been listening to Shred with host Ryan Waters, along with Aaron Simpson and Jody Rue. The Shred podcast is produced by Nick Parker and the Fredcast Network. Subscribe to Shred on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or most any of your favorite podcast apps. Have a topic, idea, or question for Ryan and the gang? Connect with us on Facebook at Shred Podcast.